So thank you for bearing with the whole momminess of pickup after school. So came on here a little late, but I just loved what I got from Shirley's story and Cricket. Like, y'all are amazing. It's just more confirmation and more motivation for us, to keep putting in that work, keep juggling our school kids schedules. It's just, we are all in, and you guys are all in with us, and that's how we make change within the kingdom. So Miss Priscilla, so Shirley was from this most recent session. So we've only had 2 sessions so far. And Priscilla is from the session before that, which is the OG, the original, group that just kind of let us see what God was going to do with this. And it was just magical. So Priscilla, can you just give the viewers here, our newer challengers who are trying to figure out what this is all about, just tell them a little bit about your story, kind of growing up, what was your lifestyle like, and when were you diagnosed, and all of that good stuff. Or stuff that led to good stuff, right?
Well, I'm 68 and I'm widowed and retired. I have 2 children and 3 grandchildren. As growing up, I grew up in a very loving Christian family home, had the best parents in the world, of course. My mom worked, but she always prepared really great meals, And so she was very conscious of, what we were to eat and everything. But so, yeah, and then I got married, of course, and then started eating differently and gaining weight as the years went by. And also, I had, both of my grandmothers were diabetic back in the 50s. And of course, back then they used insulin. So I grew up watching them do that. And I felt really doomed that that's what I was going to have. And I'd have to be on insulin all my life and everything. And, so that was something I just held with me, I guess, thinking, oh gosh, I dreaded it. And then of course, you grow up and then you do get diabetes, and the doctors put you on medicine, and they don't just stop at one. They don't check to see if there's another way. They just keep adding to it. And so, yeah.
So when did you receive your diagnosis?
I can't really remember. I know it's got to be at least 16 years ago that, and I was going to an endocrinologist for it. And all they did was they gave me my meter and told me to check my sugar 3 times a day. Never told me anything about how to eat, what foods to eat or anything like that. And it wasn't until after, oh gosh, I had it for quite a while, maybe I'll say 10 years. And with my high cholesterol and then my diabetes and everything, and it was like, I was getting so confused of what to eat. And I told my family doctor, and so she finally sent me to a dietitian, which until then, I didn't really know exactly what to do and how to eat or what to eat and how much and all that.
What did that dietitian tell you? What was their recommendation?
Yeah, she gave me basically what they've been doing for years, like you have to eat so much protein, you can only have this amount of this, and, and you have to have so many carbs, like 15 carbs per serving, and, and stuff like that. And that was confusing, even that,
Mm-hmm. And that's one thing I like to remind people is not all dietitians are the same. They have different avenues they've gone through in their education and different opinions. And some, for my husband and I, it was the same thing, just limit your carbs, limit your portion sizes, and that was really it. And now I'm seeing there's this whole array. There are dietitians like Devin, and it's just, you don't know they exist unless they put themselves out there,
Right.
and people start recommending it, especially based on the results. And the thing with
Right.
carb restricting, like, how did that work out for you? Having to portion and limit your carbs, like, what was that process like? Were you able to do it, or?
Well, I did the best I could, like I would try to measure out everything, but that just got to be so much work in that, and like I worked at the school, so there was always, fun things going on there that you ate anyhow. But yeah, it was definitely more restricted and harder as far as like um, having to have this many of this and this and this all day long.
Yeah.
Where now I don't have to worry about that.
The revelation that a lot of people have during this challenge is like, what? I can eat carbs and like as much fruit as I want? Like,
Yeah.
that's, nobody has ever told us that before.
Right.
And so how did the Daniel challenge become a part of your story?
Well, back during COVID when it started, I noticed I kept, gaining weight and everything, and my sugar was getting out of control. And I just kept praying about it, thinking, oh my gosh, I can't do this anymore. And I had prayed and prayed, asking God to heal me, and then one day I found this, this post on my Facebook about the 3-day blood sugar reset, Daniel challenge. And I thought, man, I got to do this, because all I could think of is God put that there. He's telling me, if you want to get healed, you've got to help, do your part too. And so, I thought, okay, so I signed up for it right away. And I just, and before that, like before we started the 21 day, I had prayed and asked God that, because I was on Trulicity, which is the shot you give yourself once a week, and I had just prayed and asked him that if I don't need to have this anymore, if he would just please intervene so that the company wouldn't send it to me. And he did that. He kept that promise. And, so I didn't have to take that anymore. But I think I'm getting ahead.
Yeah, no, and your blood work showed that you didn't need to be taking it. It didn't,
Right.
It didn't get worse. Your numbers, they got better. And so
Right.
it's just one of those things in collaboration with your doctor, like, but knowing how to pace yourself and knowing what God is telling you and what your body is telling you to do.
Right.
And so then what made you commit to the 21 days? So after, our main mission here is to educate people. So that's why we put just all the information out there for free. But we know in order to fully implement and give you that accountability and just that accelerated success component, we offer a support system in the 21, well, originally it was a 21 days, but we're gonna branch it out to be a little bit longer. But what got you to invest in the extension program that we had?
Well, after I was done with the 21 days, or the 3-day, I had told my one friend, that it was over, but we could join. And I was telling her, the cost and everything. And she just said to me, well, if money isn't an issue, would you do it? And I said, yes. And so God blessed me with that she provided for me, and I was able to join. And so that, I think, helped make me, like more committed to it, because it wasn't just my investment, but it was also my friend's investment, that, that she wanted to give that to me to help me. And so that helped a whole lot, having that gift of hers, helped make it more committed.
Yeah, she invested in you, and you then
Yes.
were able to invest in yourself and get maximum returns from those dollars. So, and that's just a wonderful testimony of how God, He will provide. You know, there's
Right.
the process, part of this breakthrough is not is acting and kind of overcoming that fear. It's just that slight thing that holds people
Yeah.
back from reaching the other side of fear, which is their breakthrough, their new life, their new hope and success and health. And so yeah, really just putting it in God's hands, praying on it. And when you pray and you ask, I mean, Priscilla, you've gotten plenty of confirmation in several areas of this Daniel challenge journey that were very
Mm-hmm.
clear and obvious that God is telling you what to do, like, or, you know, recommending, like, go this path, do this. And He's giving you those
Right.
lines and clear investments. So, you know, really just if you're all in and listen to your heart, like God is going to pave the way. And so I love that story. And what were your coming into this program? Like, you have some amazing results. Like right away, your blood sugars were like crazy dropped within the first 3 days, and your blood pressure. And you lost, I think it was like the first 10 days, 16 pounds or something like that, or 12 pounds. And you just kept
Yeah.
moving. So what were your goals that you reached during this program?
I'd have to say my biggest one was when I went to my doctor and told her that I was doing this program, and she thought this was wonderful. And she said, but it's not practical. She said, you might be able to get off of your pills, but you're not going to get off of your Trulicity. And I was discouraged when I left there, and I thought, but you know what? God's still in the miracle business. And I got home, and it was so, you know, like, I don't even know how to explain it. I got on Facebook, and the first thing I saw was Max Lucado's video that said, be open to a miracle. And I just felt like, oh my gosh, God is talking to me. He's telling me, you listen to me, not your doctor. Follow me, not your doctor. And so I just thought, okay, that's it. I'm just going to go with him, and I'm not going to even worry about what my doctor felt. And so then that turned out to be what she said, that I would not get off of my Trulicity, turned out to be the first thing I got off of. And, you know, it was like, wow.
Yeah, I remember that so vividly. Like, and again,
Yeah.
we're not giving medical advice here, the whole spiel, and we encourage you to be in partnership with your doctor, but there are those moments, and that's why this extension program is so important for those that are ready to make the shift, is because you may have some uncomfortable moments in the doctor's office where you know in your heart something is true, and you know God is telling you and confirming that truth, but your doctor is saying the complete opposite. And it's intimidating. And that's where some people revert back, right? And so we're here to keep you strong. And I think it was that same day you had that doctor's appointment, we had a Zoom meeting. I think, was it on the same day or the day after?
Honestly, I'm thinking it might have been the day after.
Okay. I remember.
Not positive.
Yeah, it was very shortly after that had happened. And I saw, like, after you were discouraged after that meeting. And when you told me the details, I was just like, there's no reason to be discouraged here. Your numbers are amazing. And like, I helped, as someone who's been in the doctor's office receiving similar type of opposite information with my husband, like, I knew where you were at, and we were able just to quickly snap you out of that, and then you continued accelerating on. But think of someone who didn't have that support right there. You know, what do you think things would have been different if you had not been leaning into God and prayer and the whole program and support system we had here?
Oh, yes. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So
because you so easily get down about it. And like, you remember, I just felt like I've left you guys down and everybody else down and everything, just because of whatever, you know, was said in that. So
And I was like, girl, your numbers are amazing. You're still improving. I don't know what that doctor said, but you are still on track. And you stayed on track. And the weight loss alone, like you were just like shedding these pounds, like your face was like shrinking right before our eyes. So what did that weight loss journey look like for you? And I say weight loss is just the accidental side effect of, reversing your insulin.
Yes.
And connecting closer with God.
Well, it was great, to be able to lose. And every time I would check, it would be a little bit. And then maybe it would get to where it would be a couple days before I would notice that I lost another pound or two. But it's been part of what's kept me going too. And like right now, I'm down 31 pounds. And lost 4 3/4 inches around the waist. So that's been a really big, perk.
Do your clothes even fit you anymore? I don't know.
Well, yeah, a lot of them are getting loose, that's for sure. Nothing's fallen off yet, but
we're getting there. And so that's 31 pounds to date. And it's been 2 months, probably?
2.5, I think, like 2.5 months.
Yeah, so just over 2 months, you've lost over 30 pounds. But anyway, that's a significant amount of time, because I was watching the documentary, one that you recommended to me, Priscilla. So y'all, Priscilla's educating us and sending us all these new documentaries about plant-based and cures that are newer on Amazon and Netflix. And so she's educating us now. So I was watching that, and they were boasting about this guy who had lost, it was like 3 or 4 months had lost 26 pounds or something. And I was like, Priscilla did that in 1 month or 2, month and a half, So I was like, it's just amazing, like people don't realize like how quickly this can happen if you're all in and you're activating that,
right.
accelerating things for you, So what was your favorite thing that you've learned up until this point, as you've learned so many things already and you're just self-educating at this point?
I gotta say, I don't know if this is where I wanted to answer this, but one of my favorite things is about the light and how we're connected.
That's like my new favorite thing. So I love that you answered it that way.
Well, and then the other favorite thing is how my taste buds were changed, because I've got to tell everybody that when I did this and I went through the 21-day, all I could think of is, oh man, 21 days is up. I'm going to have a cup of my coffee. And I used to drink the Maxwell House International French Vanilla coffee, and it was like a treat to me. And I would drink 3 to 4 cups of it in a day. And so I was all excited thinking, okay, I'm going to have a cup of this coffee. And I fixed it and took a sip, and it was so sweet. I couldn't drink it. I had to dump it. It was just so unbelievable sweet, And so that I really liked, the fact that I found that my taste buds have totally changed. Food tastes differently. Like I don't put any dressings on my salad. I just put a little bit of the pink Himalaya salt on it. But with all the little oranges and grapes or tomatoes, that is my dressing basically. And I just find food taste, eating it is just it's so good. It just tastes so good. And I don't need butter on everything. And, so yeah, I like that.
I know, that's one of my favorite stories. It's just, I love it. Like you are just living proof of how our body can just adjust so quickly. And once you reset, it is a reset. Like you clicked the reset button on your body, right? Yeah. Brand new. It's no longer the same person. And it's just going to get more and more enhanced from here on out, And so that story just always brings a smile. And you can start learning to crave kale, y'all. You just gotta stay consistent long enough. And then you mentioned light, and I do want to let everyone know that yes, during this the first 21-day intensive where we do like 2 times a week of education and and like emotional healing and all that stuff, that light is one of those topics we cover. And I just want to give you all a teaser that, like, in my opinion, like, God has been guiding me this year really hard about that. And I think it's even a layer on top of food in terms of its healing. And when you think about scripture, God is light, and we are made in his image. So we go into that type of thing that I'm sure y'all have never heard before in terms of the way it being connected to scripture. So that's a teaser for y'all that want to dig deeper on what are they talking about light. It's pretty interesting and pretty awesome. So tell us a little bit about how our time together and you applying all these principles impacted your mindset, your overall health, and your glucose numbers. Give us some details.
Oh my gosh, now I can't think of what I was going to say.
Okay,
let me look at my notes.
No cheating, no cheating.
Well, oh my gosh, what was the question again?
Okay, let's start with mindset. How did our journey together help impact your mindset over, during this time? Like, what was your mindset before and where are you at now?
Well, before, I'd have to say would be that I just didn't think there was a lot of hope, because I felt like, what good is it doing me? Because no matter what, my numbers aren't going down. And I swear that some of the medicine causes you to gain weight. And so I just felt like it was hopeless. But now I know it's not. I know now that it's all going to happen. It's just going to take longer depending on what your situation is, And so I do have a lot of hope now.
And that's our day one live lesson during this challenge, is just restoring hope. Like, that's the message.
Yeah.
We're just like, it's possible. You just need to have the information that's been around for centuries. So, and then you mentioned, the medicine and the confusing advice makes you feel like there's no way out. And we've seen it. Like, I don't like to focus on like the down the line issues, but like, we see it, and we see it every day. Like, there's people that lose limbs, they lose their vision. Like, this is serious stuff, right? And it's scary. And those people do not want that option. They do not want it, but they are forced into it. And it's just frustrating on my end to see that they don't need to have that option, and it just, it makes me a little bit sad, but I know it's going to change. Like, God is going to change that for our people. And that's why this is so important. And that's why your story is so important. And I'm getting chills here because I just love what God's doing. And so, like, I know God is freeing us. He's breaking those chains. And so anyways, I just got all, excited here. Let's continue with my question. Let me remember what I was asking you. Your overall health. So your glucose number. So how did that shift or get impacted during our time together? Let's drop some numbers here.
Well, I started out the day that I started the 3-day, it was at 204. And by the end of that day, I think it was, or in the morning, the next morning, it was down to like 125, something like that. And, and my numbers really dropped, but I was still taking my Prandin, the pills. And, so then it got to be where I thought, okay, I got to see where I'm at without these pills. And so my sugar has been in the pre-diabetic area, but I figure I'm not taking any medicine and I'm working at it. And I feel that as I lose weight, that'll come down even more, so I'm just going to and I always thought, well, okay, if worst comes to worst, I can always get back on the medicine, but I don't plan that.
And that's part of
So,
the process too, when it comes to our, the counseling and coaching on how to transition off of meds, because that's a whole other
yeah,
delicate situation. And again, we encourage you to do it in collaboration with your doctor. But from my husband's personal experience and some of our group members in these two challenges, that there's there's some calls you need to make, where for my husband, the doctor didn't want to stop metformin or
right,
his final insulin. I think it was the long acting insulin, something like that. And so we finally we had to make the choice to stop the insulin. And once we stopped, we were like, his numbers are perfect. Like, why would we ever be on? Because the most dangerous thing about type 1 is the hypoglycemia, where they go too low, especially
mm-hmm.
overnight while you're sleeping. Like, there's people that can go into comas because the medication, forces it too low. So we had to make a call that we knew in our hearts that was right. And then you closely observe your numbers, and then God confirms that it's right. And same thing with metformin. Our doctor said, do not, you should just stay on it. And we asked for a valid reason why. And she just said, because it doesn't cause side effects. And that was her only reason. And so, like, we had to have that kind of, we respect your advice, doctor, but we
Right.
want our hearts, and we're praying on this, and this is what we're going to do. And we've, did it carefully in observance with the numbers to make sure it was done safely. And here we are. So again, that's where we want to be, another support system to everyone in this challenge, so that they can have more confidence making that decision that they know is right for their body, and that the numbers are showing is right for their body. So,
Right.
and then your overall health, like, what has been the impact here for you from this challenge? Just anything you want to touch on.
Yeah, I've got to say that, like, a lot of the pain I used to have, I don't have now. I was taking like 2 extra strength Tylenol twice a day because my back hurt so much. And since I've, been doing this and I have lost some of the weight net, I don't hardly ever take it at all. And I think the only reason when I did take it a couple times was because I believe my back might be out a little bit, like my hip. And so I thought, well, I got to go to the chiropractor to get that fixed so I won't have that pain. But yeah, inflammation starts going away and you don't have as much pain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just getting better from here. And speaking of better, how do you envision your quality of life now? So what was your vision in terms of quality of life before, and how has that vision changed? Like, what do you see now?
Well, before I just kept thinking, oh Lord, please don't let me ever get to where I have to be in a nursing home and, I can't do anything and I don't know what's going on. And now I feel that I got a long ways to go. I'm going to be around for a long time and my health is going to be so much better. My health is going to be really good.
Amen.
Yeah.
I am in full agreement with that. Yes, yes, yes. Many more years. I keep joking. I've got a long ways to go. I'm aging in reverse right now. So we all are now. So would you recommend this program to other people, and why?
Oh my gosh, yes, most definitely. And I feel because everybody should be eating this way. I mean, this is the way everybody should eat, not with all the fat and the sugars. And once you start and you realize your body is healing and you're getting healthier, you don't want to go back to that. Even when I've had times like maybe see a commercial or somebody will be talking about a food and I'll think, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind being able to have that. But then it's like, okay, I've got my food, I'm not going to worry about it. And I have not eaten anything that I've not supposed to eat. I've been eating nothing but what we're to eat.
that's amazing. A plus on your report card next week. Okay?
Good.
So what would you say to someone who's still like, they want to do it, but they're just like, like the investment might be something that's too intimidating for them to invest in themselves. Like, what would you say to that person who's still on the fence?
Well, I would probably tell them to pray about it first. That's what, I had to do. And God has brought me through so much, and it just, if it's to be, it's going to be, and he will provide that for you. Yeah. So, yeah.
Just pray and act in obedience. And there's, we have one of our other first group challengers. That's what happened to her. She prayed and asked God for a message. And she got 3 days of dreams in a row of a lion jumping into her bed and saying, it's okay. Like, this is good. And then she gets mad with the lion on it. So yes. And everyone has different timelines. So, but listen and lean in. If God's saying it's your time now, like, take action. And if God's saying next month is your time, or whatever that looks like, then, listen to that. But yeah, so I just, oh man, is there anything else that you would like to share before I guess we kind of close this session here? Like, oh my gosh, wonderful things. Tell us more.
Yes. First of all, I just want to say thank you to both of you, because if it wouldn't have been for the two of you, I don't think I would have ever gotten through this. You've helped me out so much. It's not just like, you're not just my coach, you're my friend, and you're my sisters. And, we're just like all family now. And that is just everything. Yeah. So, and it makes a big difference when you have somebody you're not doing it alone. You're not all alone in this, and you're not doing it like, oh, jeepers, she did this, and, and I'm not, and because I felt that way for a bit, but, everybody's different. Everybody has a different situation. And so you just got to keep doing it. And, it works out. Yeah. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, no, I love it. And big hugs. We are a family. And I'm just like, one day we're going to be giving real hugs, at some point on this journey. Like, our paths are going to cross, and we're just going to stay connected. And I'm so glad God is bringing you, Cricket, Shirley, everybody that we've come across. It's like, yes, God has made this happen. It's a divine connection here. And we are being connected to continue serving God in a higher, more powerful way. Because just me and Devin, we can only speak so loud. But with you and Cricket and Shirley and everybody else, like, we really have a voice where the world is going to listen. So yeah, I think that's all the questions I had, Devin. I think we're good. Do you have anything else you want to close out with, or we good to go?
No, this was so awesome. Thank you guys so much for your patience on the front end, for your just willingness to testify. Oh my goodness, this fills my heart to overflowing. Like, like, I'm just gonna have this on replay the rest of the day.
Me too.
It's so good. It's so good. Cricket, did you have something to share as we jump off?
I just wanted to say that earlier this year, the Lord said to me, each one will teach one. In different places at my Bible study and other things that I've been doing, I just keep coming back with that word. Each one will teach one.
Amen.
Right.
Discipleship. Jesus, I mean, thinking about how Jesus discipled 12 people, like, that doesn't seem like a big impact, and yet it changed the whole world, right? And so it's like that multiplication factor is we're each faithful with 1 or 2 or 12 or however many the Lord gives us. I love that. It's such a good reminder. Thank you, Cricket.
All right.
I'm going to turn the world upside down. We will not despise small beginnings. Amen. That's
Right
it.
side
That's
up. Yeah.
That's it. Woo, praise the Lord. Thank you, ladies, so much. Yes, so much love.
Have a safe trip, Shirley.
Yes, Shirley. Bye.